We could try to stop this, postpone the heartache, but I bet your body disagree, cause you keep coming home to me.
So a couple months ago I made a short video on minimizing my wardrobe. And carrying on with that same idea, I wanted to talk about the next task today. That's crooked. So I have a day off work, got a couple things to do, but I want to continue this little minimalism journey that I'm on with my next task. And I've been waiting to tackle this for a bit, but I've got hours today and nothing to do, and the weather outside is crappy. So, task.
My eyes are glued to my phone, trying to read your signals, but you say you wanna be alone, but the pain in your body leaves me otherwise, and I can't keep you alive, but I know.
I feel like I do this once every 2 months, and I'm not gonna do a lot of walking through the process. So if anybody is curious as to like how to go about cleaning a space like this, where to start, step 1, take everything off the surface.
Let the pain in your body bleed on so high, and I can't keep trying to deny, but I know, and you know, you just postpone the heartache, cause you're scared.
I don't really use this computer anymore. See, this computer, I had been using it as a bigger monitor. This is an Acer all-in-one computer. There's an HDMI in, and I can use it to plug my laptop into to get a bigger screen. But I could probably sell it and buy an independent monitor that would do the same job. Life with dogs. This is probably one of the biggest things I'm getting rid of. It's a printer. It's a printer that I don't use a lot anymore. I did get a lot of use out of it, but I don't use it anymore.
You just delay the heartbreak, cause you can.
And we're done. Okay, not quite done yet. So finish cleaning off the desk. Now I have a pile of junk. Before I go through the pile of junk, I'm gonna clean under the desk, and since I have an opportunity to do so, I'm probably gonna like run a vacuum over it real quick, which I'll probably share that video with my wife. The first thing I'm gonna do is figure out what belongs on the desk. That'll clear out a lot of the stuff that's on the floor. I do plan on getting a new monitor, but for the time being it makes sense to keep this one. This is a Bluetooth speaker that I got a couple years back. I never use it. It goes in the sell pile. So I've gotten a lot of this cleaned up. So thus far I've basically just tidied everything. And in my head there's a difference between tidying and minimalizing, or essentializing, or however you want to put it. I've gotten rid of a lot of the garbage, a lot of the clutter. Now it's time to reevaluate what really needs to be on the workspace. Some things are different than others, right? I've already determined I don't need the printer. And there are other things like this little thing from a toy that Brooklyn got for Christmas that I just don't need. The bag's going on that hook right there. And then there are things like this, like my street photography photos. I don't want to get rid of them because one of the things that I ascribe to when it comes to this kind of stuff is an idea that I heard first from Marie Kondo. She has a systematic way of approaching tidying things, about tidying a space. And one of the things that she says in it is you have to be keenly aware of what sparks joy in you. Stuff like this, those things don't spark joy in me, but my street photos do. Now, when I started printing my own photos, I installed this, which is basically just a wire with some paper holders. And I've hung up my photos from there. Problem is, I do like my photos. I would prefer to have them framed or blown up, but I don't want to spend the money on doing that right now. So most of the mess has been cleaned up, floor's looking pretty good. Couple of things on the desk that I don't really want on the desk, but it's just because I don't really want to just chuck them in the garbage either. For example, this is a 28mm Canon FD mount lens. It's for a film camera. The lens is still in good shape. It's got an FD to EF adapter on it, so I can fit it on my camera, but because the flange distance between the back optic and the sensor, lens no work good no more. But it does look nice sitting beside my old film camera, kind of gives the desk a little bit of feng shui. That's that. What I'm concerning myself with now is a cord management system off the back of the desk so I don't have to constantly bend down to plug things in anymore. Pretty sure somewhere in here is some electrical tape that I can use. I understand the irony that this is a video on minimalism and this drawer looks like this. Don't judge me. I know we have electrical tape. The question is just where. Ha 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 ha.
You know, you just postpone the heartache, 'cause you're scared.
Well, it's not the most minimalist setup on the planet, but it's a hell of a lot tidier and there's a hell of a lot more essentials on the desk. Now I can get some work done. Until next time, see ya. I'm pushing this around with a vacuum nozzle, by the way. It's a slider. Okay, I'm done. I made one final adjustment. I took the monitor down because I don't know how much I'm going to use it anymore. Thus completes the video. Goodbye.
If you can call me to me, if you feel you're suffocating.